Motorcycles are a big part of my life, and I've owned many different kinds and brands of bikes over the years. If it has two wheels and a motor, chances are I love it. However, my favorite are dual sport or adventure bikes. There is nothing that compares with exploring forgotten roads and trails on the back of a motorcycle, especially with my brother Tom, another lifelong rider. My name's Joe, and this is one of our adventures.
We woke up to a surprise. So much for the early summer we'd been experiencing up till now. We enjoyed a hot cup of coffee and a warm breakfast with Dad in his cozy toy hauler before we packed up and left. I decided to try out time-lapse on my GoPro as we started the day. Even with aggressive knobbies, snow can be challenging to ride in, so we were a bit worried about Tom's back tire getting traction in the snow. We had planned on riding dirt all the way to Susanville, but the route would have taken us over even higher elevation. We decided to ride out to Highway 44, which is a little bit lower in elevation, and sure to be plowed. After breaking down camp, we suited up, knocked the snow off our bikes, and got ready to ride. Fortunately, I ditched my custom microphone setup and now actually have audio from the bare GoPro.
Was you able to reach it? Do you have your helmet on?
No, but I can't get it with these gloves. What are the odds you can get it?
I'm not sure.
Some things never change for an older brother. Instead of helping him button his jacket when we were kids, now I have to help him with his helmet.
Alright, you go ahead. I'll follow you.
Time to hit the road and see how slick it is.
So far, so good.
Yeah, I'm not sure we'll be able to see the rocks.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, good. The road's still kind of melty here.
Yeah. I got snow hitting my eyeballs.
Yeah, me too. Oh yeah, well if the road looks like this here, the highway's probably really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Either that or that was a tree shadow.
Yeah.
Oh no, this road's good.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Far cry different looking than it was yesterday, isn't it? Windy Gap. With snow. Oh yeah, this isn't bad at all. I wouldn't want to go up over that pass at 7,200 feet or 74, whatever it was.
One of the most problematic things about riding while it's snowing is being able to see where you're going. If you keep the visor down, it fogs up and snow builds up on it. If you keep your visor open, the snow stings when it hits your eyes. The trick is to leave your visor open just in the right spot. I never did figure out where the right spot is. Today's ride would take us from Camp 1 in the Lassen National Forest of California to Camp 2 near Lovelock, Nevada. We were disappointed having to skip some nice dirt roads, but we felt we couldn't take a chance of going over the higher elevations to get to Susanville. We decided to stop and make sure Dad made it out of camp before getting on Highway 44. Highway 44 was clear but really cold. Good thing I put on 2 pairs of socks and heated gloves. Not too far down the road, it was Dad's turn to have vehicle issues. His truck wasn't shifting into 5th gear. We all pulled over and checked things out. We thought he might not be able to complete the trip with us. He decided that his truck is geared high enough in 4th, he would continue on. The snow cleared as we dropped down into the town of Susanville. We met up with Dad to fuel up and double-check that his truck was okay to journey on.
You're going to fill up with gas too?
After fueling up and warming up for a few minutes, we got back on the road bound for Nevada. It would be 105 miles to our next fill-up at the south end of Pyramid Lake in Nixon, Nevada. Yay, it stopped snowing. But it started raining. We turned off Highway 395 onto Wendell Road, just north of Honey Lake. Wendell Road is paved to the border, where it turns to a side-splitting washboard gravel road. After about 5 miles, we turned onto a small dirt road that I had plotted using aerial photos. I didn't really know if it would connect back in or not.
I see one lonely tire track ahead of us. That's all that's left of the last guy who rode out here.
I can't believe Tom still blindly follows me after all the years of leading him astray.
It seems like this road's kind of petering out on us. Yeah, I think it's about time to turn around.
After fighting the sand and mud for a few miles, we decided it would be best if we cut back over to Wendell Road where Tom's back tire would get some traction.
Hopefully it connects in. A little bit. I'm still moving. Hey, is this the road? Oh, nice. Oh, this is like a freeway.
A freeway with potholes, maybe. Kind of like I-5.
We are going to go across the tracks, then to the left.
Oh, now you're in the jigglies. Yeah, I just about shook my helmet off when I was sitting down on some of those earlier. Man, it looks like there might even be blue sky out there somewhere.
Surprise Valley Road turns into Pyramid Lake Road and parallels the entire west side of the lake. It is very, very long and bumpy. Did I mention how long and bumpy the road is? Pyramid Lake is beautiful. This was my first time seeing it. And for some reason, I had always thought it was a glorified mud puddle. Boy, was I wrong. It's huge, and a beautiful aquamarine. We see an interesting rock formation in the distance. I wanted to make a quick stop and take a closer look.
Wow, look at that. It's like a giant geode looking. Interesting. Look at that.
I also wanted to give my butt a rest from the hard seat and washboard road.
Well, we could go down to Pyramid Lake and go swimming. It's warmed up to 40 degrees.
For some reason, Tom isn't interested in a swim right now. So we get back on the road. We passed a couple of beautiful ranches on our way down the lake. About halfway down the lake, the dirt turns to pavement. The further south we went, the windier it became. We made it to Nixon and filled up with gas. It was so windy, we had to tuck behind a wall to eat a quick lunch before getting back on our bikes. From here, we would ride dirt most of the way to camp near Lovelock. We hit a patch of road that was deep sand. Tom's back tire wasn't getting enough traction for his heavy bike, and he really had to struggle to keep his bike upright.
Oh, I'm squirreling everywhere. I can't keep that back behind me. Okay, how many miles of this we got? Because I ain't making it. If it's going to be like this. It's pretty though.
Tom is one hell of a rider. I have always been amazed at his ability to ride anything, anywhere. I scout ahead and find a road that has less sand.
Yeah, just gotta get over the berm. Yeah, this is the right one. 80 miles of dust. Miles of broken bones. Wow, we're up to 49 degrees. Okay, this looks a little soft. It is.
Nevada has always been one of my favorite places to ride. It's wide open and there are dirt roads everywhere. The only problem with it being wide open is there aren't any trees to block the wind. By this time, the wind was really howling. Nothing but miles and miles of rocks and dirt. I love it. Although a bit gut-wrenching, this type of riding is just about my favorite. Lots of rocks for traction. The Husky feels right at home here. Too bad Tom didn't have his XR for this. Just riding along, really enjoying life without a care in the world. Until...
What the f?
Okay, you don't have to pull the battery.
What was it?
I think that's your starter sticking. Did you accidentally bump the starter button?
I don't think so.
So we heard a noise like a $15,000 bike dying, screaming like a baby.
It was screaming like a baby.
But we think we've sorted it out, and just a rock got flung up into the radiator fan. We hope. We're digging it out. So this is 3 hours into a 10-minute job. I'm just kidding. It hasn't been that long. Anyway, we think we found it. It is a bolt that rattled out of something and landed in the radiator fan. Okay, so we got the little bolt out of there, fell out of something. We don't know what yet. It'll rattle off eventually. But in case you were wondering, we are truly in the middle of nowhere. But it's really pretty out here. It's prettier when the bikes are running.
All right. Just got done fixing my bike. Hopefully. That was all it was. A little screw fell down in the fan, making an evil sound.
Okay, wait. Stop for a second and explain exactly what screw ended up down in the fan. Was it off? Was it a Husqvarna? Did Husqvarna make something wrong?
No, it was an aftermarket screw. It was not a Husqvarna screw. It was an aftermarket screw that fell down and wound up in the fan. And anyways, we tore the side of the bike apart to get it, and we're ready to head on our way. Riding, this happens and you got to open a gate. Asshole.
Tom thinks it's funny to reach over and hit my kill switch every once in a while. At least this time it wasn't while I was riding.
Don't mess up my helmet cord. Well, the fan's working okay now. I heard it still spinning freely. Burros. Hey guys.
Tom was teasing me about all the bumps in the roads I had let him down, so I decided to find one that was a little bit smoother.
I did take you on some smooth road.
We discover one of the many wonders lost in the desert.
Yeah, there's more around the corner up there. This is oh, it must have been the stables, because there's horse biscuits all over the place in here. Burro biscuits, probably. This is a pretty good structure here.
A quick investigation and time to get a move on.
Yeah, this is the kind of country I like to ride and explore, and just never know what you're gonna see.
By this time, it's getting late in the day. In order to meet up with Dad at camp before dark, we take a road that heads straight for Interstate 80. We only had to ride about 30 miles of pavement to get to Lovelock, but it seemed like the longest 30 miles I've ever ridden. The crosswind was so strong. There were several times wind gusts hit from the side, and I was truly afraid it was going to blow my bike out from underneath me. After an exhausting day, starting with freezing snowy conditions and ending with a severe windstorm, we made it to camp and carefully set up the tent in the howling wind. After a nice dinner with Dad, we head to bed and rest up for another long day of riding.